Hi there, my name is Adam Haroon. I am a global aesthetic marketing expert, and I am so excited to be partnering with Hugel Canada on our patient loyalty and retention foundations module. This is truly a module that if you take the learning we are about to share with you to heart, can really separate good clinics from exceptional clinics. So much of what those clinics that are the outliers in their region, those 1% of the 1% clinics, what they do well is all about retention and loyalty. So I would encourage you to grab your notepad, grab your pen, and let's get ready to learn and put some great ideas into action together. Let's get started. So the best referral programs are the programs where everybody wins, right? Not only are they going to encourage, new patients to come visit you and encourage repeat business, but they're really going to boost that patient's lifetime value because they've already, built that relationship. They've sent people to you. They're with you for life. So in a good referral program, we want to see if there are ways we can aim to include all of the following elements. The first element is savings, right? A good referral program should ideally find a way to include savings. Do patients who refer somebody to you get access to preferential pricing? Do referrals coming from an existing patient perhaps get special preferential pricing on that first visit? Again, that may or may not be something that you're able to do in your market. The best referral program should always aim to, in some way or another, include savings, right? Which is very closely linked to the next element that you want your referral program to have. And that is really where there is an incentive. Why should a new patient come see you for the first time? Why should an existing patient tell their contacts, their friends, their coworkers, their family about your clinic? There should be some kind of an incentive, whether that is just preferential pricing like we talked about, or maybe patients that refer to you get some kind of, special events and access to those at different points of the year. Maybe they have access to getting a first look at some of your new treatments as you introduce those. Again, what your incentive is going to heavily depend on what is or isn't allowed in your region of business, but really aim to see how you might be able to include an incentive as part of your referral program. From there, we really want to make sure that we reward not just referrals, but also repeat booking, right? And you may also want to see what can you do for patients at certain spending thresholds. Maybe there's something you do for patients after they have hit $5,000 of spending at your clinic. Maybe there's something you do for patients after they've hit $10,000 of spending at your clinic. Whatever that case happens to be, we call those spending thresholds. And I always like there to be some kind of gift or reward that patients can look forward to after they hit those milestones. And those may not even be milestones you advertise publicly, but those are just another, like we talked about a moment ago, additional layer of surprise and delight that your patients look forward to and really can just appreciate and admire as they really trust you with more and more of their business. So good referral programs, the structure is going to vary and what's going to be included will vary based on the regulations in your market of business. However, ideally they include some kind of savings, some kind of an incentive, which may or may not be savings, and they reward repeat business and spending thresholds. Aim to get creative with this, right? Work within the boundaries of your, regulatory best practices and see how you can make it work for you. There's always a way if you're willing to get a little creative. Of course, always run everything by your legal counsel, run everything by your regulatory counsel, but really see what, if anything, you can do to make referrals work for your clinic. The other kind of program you want to look to implement in your clinic is a membership. Memberships are a newer phenomenon in medical aesthetics, but they are an absolute game changer when it comes to fostering patient loyalty and dramatically increasing your patient's lifetime value. So here's why I love memberships at a glance. There's a lot of reasons. They're a great alternative to financing, right? Maybe someone, isn't ready to pay for a treatment up front, but they don't want to apply for financing and they don't want to put it on a credit card. A membership program can help make those higher ticket treatments much more accessible. They're also great because they encourage patients to stay with you and really get ongoing results, right? Not just get the treatment once and never come back for an enhancement or, when they're due for a retreat, right? So they really encourage repeat services. They're also great because they obviously improve retention and they improve results. And when your patients have better outcomes and improved results, it's only natural they're going to talk to more people about you. So improved outcomes and results are another reason I absolutely love memberships. Also, remember, memberships are more common now than ever. Everything from people's gym membership to their streaming subscriptions. I know I'm a member of like Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and all of it, right? So people are used to memberships. We even see memberships in businesses like coffee shops and movie cinemas now. Memberships are more common than ever. Amazon Prime, I could go on and on and on. The examples are endless. And at the end of the day, we see patients that are on our membership are much more satisfied. I actually want to give you a statistic that might surprise you. When we look at the data, and this was data pulled by RepeatMD, by the way, who are a membership software in the aesthetic industry, they found that patients on a membership, even if they may have a lower price for an individual treatment, over the course of a year, they spend 44% more than patients who aren't members. Members spend 44% more than patients who are not members. It's a substantial difference, and that can make a huge impact on your bottom line over the course of a year. So as you can see, I'm a big fan of memberships, and I hope you're getting as excited about them as I am, because next I want to walk you through how we structure a membership and what you should include. There are really 4 types of memberships you want to be considering for your practice. No one is better than another. It's really just about determining which makes the most sense for your patients and your clinic's situation. So at a glance, we're going to go into each of these in detail momentarily, but I want to give you the overview. The membership models you can consider are the suite of services model, where someone pays a membership fee and they get specific services in exchange for that. There is, of course, the beauty bank or savings bank model, and that's where someone's membership fee is banked onto their patient account, and in exchange for that monthly membership fee, they get exclusive perks and pricing. So that's the second, the savings bank model. The third is the prepayment model, where people might be paying for their treatment plans up front, but it's positioned as a membership, and in exchange for doing that, they get additional value and perks. And then fourth, we have the service-specific membership model, where maybe you have memberships that are relative to particular treatments you happen to offer in your clinic. So again, a suite of services, pay a set amount, get specific services, the savings bank, where their membership fee is banked and then applied to specific preferential prices, the prepayment model, where a treatment plan is essentially positioned as a membership and comes with some additional benefits, and then of course, memberships that are specific to particular services your clinic offers. Again, no one is better than another. We're going to go into detail about each of these momentarily. I just want you to understand these 4 models at a glance as we dive into memberships together. But let's explore what each includes here in just a moment. Let's begin by really breaking down the suite of services model. So this would be where, we have different levels and people pay a set amount each month and get specific services in exchange for that, right? In our example here, we've got a basic level, an advanced level, and a premier level. And in addition to their specific services, members also get special pricing on retail skincare. They get special pricing on certain higher ticket services like RF microneedling or a fat reduction treatment. And they may also receive special pricing on their dermal filler treatments. So again, people get specific services every month based on their membership fee, and then they get a few additional benefits. I'll be honest, the suite of services model isn't necessarily my favorite because I think it can be a little bit rigid and people don't necessarily stay on it as long as they would with some of these other models we'll talk about. But it is very straightforward in the sense that people know what they're getting each month and there's no guesswork about how much value they have on their account or what their membership benefits entail. It's very clearly laid out for them. So this is one model to consider. This is a model that's actually especially popular in the United States, but in many circumstances, it's not my favorite because I think from what I've seen, people may not stay on it as long as they would with certain other options. So this is the suite of services model at a glance. The next membership model is what I refer to as the savings bank model. And what's great about the savings bank model is that patients can really make this model their own. Maybe you have patients that are coming to you primarily for injectables. Maybe you have patients that are coming to you primarily for esthetician services. Maybe your patients primarily see you for energy devices. What's great about the savings bank model is this membership structure can really accommodate all of those patients because they pay a set membership fee every month. That membership fee is banked onto their patient account. And then based on that membership fee, they unlock a certain amount of preferential pricing. In addition to that, they get perks like, a welcome skincare gift. They might get a complimentary esthetician service like a chemical peel during their birthday month. And it's just a flexible model that really accommodates a patient and meets them where they are. I've seen in my experience, this is one of the models that patients stay with for the longest period of time. It's one of the models that is the most easy for a patient to say yes to because they don't have to worry about, well, will I want this treatment in 6 months? Or am I going to care about that in a year? Whatever they want to do at your clinic, they are able to accommodate. So the suite of services model, or my apologies, the savings bank model is really a model that is great for longevity of subscription and simplicity. It's honestly my favorite of the 4 models. Again, no one is better than the other, but it's the one I see the most success with and that makes the most sense for the majority of practices and clinic circumstances. So savings bank model is definitely one that you might want to consider. The membership fee is banked every month, and in exchange for that loyalty, patients get exclusive access to preferential pricing. The third model of membership is the service-specific membership model. Now, this to me is ideally suited for clinics who may have a really strong patient base in one area of the clinic, but others may not necessarily be as strong. So here's an example, or a few, I should say, of what a service-specific membership could look like. Maybe you have a membership for facials. Maybe you have a membership for laser hair removal. Maybe you have a membership for body contouring. And what these memberships do is they make these treatments more accessible to your patients in terms of price point. And because the treatment is at a better value, it means the patient's likely to stay with them for longer. And maybe with some of those savings they're realizing, try other things you offer inside of the clinic. So this to me is really ideal for practices or clinics where the patient base kind of veers towards one treatment, and it makes the most sense to begin by offering a membership there. What you don't want to necessarily have happen is have a client or a patient who's on the facial membership, but then they also want the laser hair removal membership, and then they're on the body contouring membership. And before you know it, they're spending $500 a month on 3 memberships. They don't know what they're getting, and they would have been better served with something like the savings bank model. So this I have seen practices do exceptionally well with, or perhaps if you have a patient base that's a little more price conscious, no problem, right? Offering a service-specific membership can really be a great way to foster loyalty while still extending patients the best value. So there are some circumstances where service-specific memberships, like a facial membership or a laser hair removal membership or a body contouring membership, can make a lot of sense. And then finally, the fourth membership model that you may wish to consider is the prepayment model, right? This is where people, again, are essentially looking at your treatment plans and really engaging them as a membership. Now, I'll be honest, this is the membership model I use the least often, but where it typically makes the most sense is when you have either a very well-established patient base, that's number one, or number two is where you may have a very, very affluent demographic that you are targeting, right? These are for patients who are not uncomfortable spending $5, $10, $15, $20, $25,000 in one transaction, right? So for the majority of the market, this model may not be the best, but if you've got either a very, very well-established patient base where you know they are with you for life, or you've got a very, very affluent demographic you're targeting, this model can certainly make sense, right? So again, with this prepayment model, what happens is people are basically investing in their treatment plan upfront, and because they're choosing to do that, they get access to additional value on their account. They get access to additional perks. For example, in the VIP membership, you may look at even doing a car service within a certain radius to and from the clinic. So ultimately, this is where you are securing that patient's loyalty for 6 months or more because they're doing the treatment plan up front. Again, this can make sense in the right scenario, but generally speaking, I would probably look at one of the other 3 models. However, I would be remiss if I didn't talk to you about this one. So if you've got very, very loyal and well-established patients, or an extremely affluent demographic that you are targeting, then yes, maybe consider the prepayment model. If that's not you, in the other circumstances, whether it's savings bank, suite of services, or service specific, you might be a little more well suited to those. So really take a look at these four models and see what makes the most sense for you.